This is in no way funny. We will find our way back together. But right now, there's stormy weather.
So excuse the mess in here, but these are bacon wrapped chicken, and there's a ton of them there. And then these are stuffed pork chops. Actually, I think those are bacon too. They got bacon and cheese. And the reason why I got all this stuff out is I got scared because the weather is still really warm outside. It has been raining all day, which is crazy for us. And yeah, so I brought everything in from the cooler outside. Most of it was still frozen. So who's that back there? Oh, it's Mary. So I had a bunch of salmon out there, so I put the salmon in the freezer because I had room in the freezer for it. And I'm making ice cubes. Mary and I made Dalgonas today. So I'm all kind of wired and tired at the same time until I think everything kind of evens out in my brain. But I'm just going to cook a plethora of stuff. And this is what we've been doing every weekend. I've just been making a ton of stuff either on Saturday or Sunday or, even Monday when I have time. And I'll just make a whole bunch of stuff for the week. It's kind of prepping. I'm not doing keto right now, but at least if I've got some things, like twice this week I forgot to eat dinner. So if I've got things made ahead of time, I'm not worried about I'm hungry and then just munching mindlessly. It's made, so I've got meals. So I'm not eating as much. But I took the turkey out of the truck, so no more truck turkey. It's here. It's in the roaster. And I think, as I told you guys before, I cook my turkey breast side down because all your dark meat's on the top. I mean, that way, all your dark meat's on the top. So all of that juice from those dark meats go into the breast and everything. So, yeah. So it comes out really good. So that's in there. And I've got all that other stuff cooking. We were going to stop at the store and grab some, mashed potatoes that are already made. I mean, if Costco has them already made, or, they got the 2 packs of the Main Street already made mashed potatoes. But we didn't. So I do have instant mashed potatoes. So I make them with milk or canned milk usually. And they come out really good that way. So I'll probably just make the instant mashed potatoes because we need to use them. I mean, I don't think instant mashed potatoes actually go bad, but, it's time to use and replenish anyway. So we'll probably make that. And then I've got a couple of pie crusts out here. I'm going to make a couple of quiche. So there's going to be a lot of stuff here going on. So I'll show you. Actually, I need to put this stuff in the oven. So I'll show you the quiche when I make the quiche, because I'm going to make 2 different quiches. I have a really bad habit of putting these glass things on the glass stovetop. So if you don't know, you aren't aware, a lot of people ask me, how I keep my glass top so clean and scratch free. There is a lot of scratches on it. But the glass, anything glass sitting on there can scratch glass. So don't do that. Don't put glass on glass. And the other thing is cast iron. Don't use any kind of cast iron on your glass top. That'll scratch your top too. Anything else is pretty much good to go. But see, like these, they're rounded bottoms. They probably wouldn't scratch it, and I just set them on there when I make things. It's not like you know what? I do turn them around when I'm working the pie crust. But I make my matcha. I make my matcha in the morning. A lot of times I'll set it on top of the glass top, before I go out the door. It's not good. Yeah, because these things actually kind of have a rough bottom on them. But, oh, goodness. So, I'm going to put these quiche together, and I'm going to figure out how to show you how I do that with this new camera. Okay, I'm going to talk to you while I put these crusts in here, because I need to explain some things. I got really messed up with my keto. Actually, it was before we went to Michigan. I wasn't doing bad, but then when we went to Michigan in October, I, figured it was kind of a free-for-all. And then I've been bad ever since. Sugar is addicting. Once you start, it's hard to get off of it. And gluten, I should not be doing gluten because my stomach tells me. But, yeah, and then we just got out of a routine when, sometimes these things. We just got out of a routine with all the traveling. Mary and I, that California cruise, it was planned, but it was supposed to be a Mexican Baja cruise, and I wasn't supposed to miss work, and it was supposed to be over Thanksgiving, but just things got kind of messed up, and I got off of a routine, and which messed up the vlogs, and then Christmas with the Vlogmas. I wasn't planning on doing it, but then I decided I would. So in years past, when I've planned on doing it, we've done a lot of extra videos that we've had set aside that we could do things with, or we've done Vlogmas day to day, like I would normally put up my weekly stuff. Oh, that was bad. I would normally put up my weekly stuff. Like what I've been doing is putting up Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and I would do Vlogmas that way. We just do our regular week and then just put it up whenever, but it still would have a daily thing on there. I'm not used to talking and doing things, so, because I'm getting out of a, like I said, out of a routine, out of a rhythm. But this is going to be put up for Monday Measures, even though it's not a recipe. I just wanted to let you know what we are doing for meals and stuff, because we do have a lot of food here and we do need to go through it. And I'm getting my freezer down to a manageable level to where I can de-ice it soon. And my pantry project is almost coming up on 2 years that I've been wanting to do that. So I have that brand new freezer out in the garage that I haven't even plugged in. You know, Costco still sells them, so if I, you know, had something wrong with it and fussed about it, I'm sure that they would exchange it for me. So, but yeah, that pantry project is going to happen really soon. Okay, so I've got my crust prepared, and I'm gonna make my stuff for the quiche. Oh, first I'm gonna put my cheese in there. Let me get all this stuff together. I'm not prepared. And another thing is, like, the weather outside. Town was shut down because it got warm. We got rain. They predicted snow before the rain, but we didn't get it. It was just completely rain. And it's been warmer than they expected, which actually probably helped us because after it rained, they expected the temperature to drop. And if that temperature dropped last night like it was going to, today would have been, you know, there wouldn't be anybody out there. It would have been stupid crazy. But most of the main roads are clear because it has been warm, and I think they actually salted. So, you know, that's a thing. But the side roads, like, I don't know, I could probably show you my road. It's just like an ice skating rink. It's crazy. I mean, you can see people in their videos, they're ice skating on the roads. It's insane. You know, kind of like a lot of you are having that freezing rain down the lower 48. That's what we're having here. And I was just talking to Mary about that. You know, this happened like probably every other year for the last 10 years or so. Yeah, the first time we got it, the girls were both, Mary was in elementary school. I think she said she was in 6th grade. And so I don't know, 2010 maybe? And I have to think. Yeah, I think it was 2010. And it happened over Thanksgiving. And, you know, I think that's probably the first time Fairbanks has ever seen anything like that. They just don't get freezing rain here. And so it was like the apocalypse. You've seen cars and school buses, and because nobody was prepared for it that morning. I even took the girls to school, and I thought, oh, the road's just wet, and I swung out to get on the road and almost went off the other side of the road. And I was like, oh gosh. I said, I can't believe they didn't call school. And I did 5-10 miles an hour all the way to the one school, because they were in 2 different schools at the time. And Mary, I told her, I said, I don't care what happens if they're calling school or not. I said, I'm not taking you to the other school. So, the school they were in was, or Heather was in at the time, was a Montessori school. And that's what I put her in there for 7th and 8th grade for middle school. And we just stayed there. We stayed there because they had called school for the kids that hadn't gotten there already, that, they didn't have to go. So I just said, you know what, I'm going to stay here till daylight so I could see better, and then I'll just go home. And when I went home after daylight, I don't know, it was probably about 10 o'clock, there was not a single soul on the roads. None at all. I didn't see anybody all the way home, and I had passed a highway too. So it was scary. It was scary. And that's kind of, like I said, what it's been doing every other year or so. Last time this happened, I actually we had a tree fall because it iced up so bad on the lines and the trees and stuff that I had a tree fall across my driveway, and I was out there There's video of that somewhere. I was out there sawing the tree with a little chainsaw, and the teeth kept getting ice in there because it was still freezing rain. I was covered with ice, and trying to get that tree cut to get out of my driveway. Anyways, this was supposed to be a food prepping, cooking thing, so let's get to that. So these little things had barbecue sauce on them. You can see, the barbecue sauce kind of, they're supposed to grill them on the grill, but I'm baking them in the oven, and I mean, they look like they're burnt, but they're not. They're little chicken things. They're not burnt, just the sauce on the pan is. And these were still frozen a little bit in the middle, so I'm just going to let them sit in the oven while I'm waiting for these to get done. I had to move them over here so I can finish. But I'm putting spinach in both of these, so I'm making two different ones. I'm going to put mushrooms and peppers in one, and then some bacon, and then the other one I'm going to do kielbasa and extra cheese. Oh, I got to shred some cheese too. I got lots of things to do here, guys. Oh, sorry about that. There goes my phone. It's probably the Furbo telling me that I'm in the kitchen. So you always want to line your pie crusts with some kind of cheese, usually a harder cheese. These are Swiss cheese. And then I put a lot of spinach in there. This is actually pretty big for baby spinach. I mean, it doesn't matter. I'm probably going to pull some of these stems off, but I only got one hand because I'm using the camera with the other one. But I'll pull some of these stems off of here, because that's not going to be tasty. I mean, look at this. Is that ridiculous? So, but you want to kind of, I mean, spinach always cooks down to nothing. So you want to kind of put a lot in there so it looks almost full. Kind of like that. And then you put your stuff on top of the spinach. So that way it stays on top. If you're not using spinach or kale or Swiss chard or some kind of leafy vegetable, then you probably want to saute this, or even the meat. I got some bacon here too. Oh, there's my bacon. And put it in with your egg mixture when you mix the eggs for this recipe. So we'll be doing that in a minute. Okay, let me get these stems out of here and I'll show you what it looks like when I get all of the rest of the stuff in there. Okay, so one is red bell pepper, mushroom, and bacon. And the other one is mushroom and kielbasa. And we'll shred my cheese and make my egg mixture, and I'll show you how to make all that. There is 8 eggs and 6 tablespoons of flour. So if you want to be technical, it's a 1/4 cup and 1/8 of a cup. So that's 6 tablespoons of flour. And then it's going to take 3 cups of milk. I usually use canned milk, the pet milk or whatever you want to call it. But I'm out of it, so I'm going to put 1 cup of regular milk and 2 cups of half and half. I just like the thicker milks. And then I'm going to mix that all up. You can put salt and pepper in there, but because I've got the meats in there, that's going to flavor it just fine. I might put a little bit of pepper, But I'm going to mix it up and we'll put it in our crusts. Ah! Flour everywhere! I was going to put this cup of milk in there first. That would have helped with the flour situation. I've got like 5 things going on at once here. I cooked all that stuff in the oven, and now I've got the turkey in the roaster. That's done. I checked the temperature, so that's done. And I'm going to take all that meat off of that turkey tonight. And freeze a bunch of it. I have no clue what you guys are looking at. My big mess on the stove here. Okay. Now, this is for 2 quiche. If you're just making one, you can half this. This is really going to puff up because of all the eggs in there. But I'm used to eyeballing this. These spinach leaves, you want to make sure that they're underneath there. Otherwise, they'll get burned. Oh, there's a stem I missed. There you go. Oh, that one looked like it popped back up there. Hold it down with some meat. Then they go in the oven at 350 for about 45 minutes. Oops. I'm getting ahead of myself. We gotta put the shredded cheese on top. You can't forget the cheese. That's the best part. Yeah, you could put any kind of cheese on the top too. I just happen to have some medium cheddar here that I needed to use. Actually could use a little bit more. Okay. Whew, I cannot see myself in this little teeny screen. So I hope I look okay. That was a lot. Yeah, yeah, I did a lot of cooking. I cooked the turkey, and then I pulled all the stuff out of the. I had to wear ice cleats out there. When I stayed at the office yesterday for lunch because I didn't want to take a chance of coming home and then, not being able to get back here or getting into an accident or something. Faith, as you know, she's in the trucking industry, and she had to go with some other people to help one of her drivers. And on the way there, they were sitting at a red light and somebody slammed into them. So it was a mess. It was a big mess out there yesterday. Just all kinds of... I heard that the emergency service system in 911, they actually got over 300 calls in the morning. This was between just hours in the morning. I know a lot of people that do, Instagram and TikTok and stuff here in Fairbanks. They actually were putting up, pictures of that emergency service. It's called Pulse Point. They were putting pictures of that up there, all the accidents. It was insane. People that were driving along, Chena Hot Springs Road and Steese, and, that were coming into town or going to work or trying to get kids to school or get kids from school. They were reporting all the, where people were on the sides of the roads to watch out for them, so that way you didn't come up on them and, hit them. But because I stayed at work yesterday, I was having a horrible time getting my regular ice cleats on, because these are not the boots that I normally put my ice cleats on. But I did put them on there for today. But that's the normal ice cleats that I use. But I couldn't get them on, and I needed to walk across the street to go get my lunch because I ordered lunch from across the street. And then the only thing I had was these. They're chains. They're like they're more for ice climbing, for hiking, icy cliffs and hills and stuff. But that's what I wore across the street, and I was glad I had them. Yeah, it's odd. It's crazy. I know a lot of you are going through the same thing down in the lower 48 there. Florida. A foot of snow in Florida? Has that ever even happened before? I don't know. Is this all historical stuff? It's just strange. I kept telling people, the glaciers are melting like crazy, and all that water has to go somewhere. So it's, they were saying that, oh gosh, Florida is going to not exist. Florida's not going to exist in, another 10 years because the glaciers are just going to fill up the oceans. And I don't think that's going to happen, but you never know. Bean! Maybe she'll let her outside. She's always got to throw something at me when I'm sitting here. She wants to play. So I've been timing all the food so that way I could, I could reply to comments for the videos. And then because I'm not recording with my phone, you're probably going to be hearing that all the time now. Sorry about that, because usually if I'm recording with the phone, it silences all the notifications. But, yeah. But now I've got the phone. I can show you guys things. Let me see. Like the weather. See, it's 35 and rain. Rain. No, it's not supposed to happen. At least it didn't turn into snow or, freeze. And look, we're still going to stay 35. 36. My one thermometer outside says 40. The one in here that has like the little thing outside, it says 36 right now. So it's pretty accurate to, what this says here. But yeah, it's dumb. We are supposed to drop in the next couple days. There was an avalanche. Actually, there's a couple avalanches. I had a friend that was coming up here, and they were gonna get a puppy from somebody, and they got all the way to Cantwell and ran into the avalanche. It had already happened, but they were saying that they could probably clear the avalanche by 12:30, which is about the time they were going to hit that area. But there were boulders in the avalanche, and they said that possibly there might have been cars, because it was that, it was like 300, 400 feet. I think the depth was about 6 foot, so it wasn't too horribly deep, but 300, 400 feet, that's a wide stretch of road. So those boulders, they couldn't move them. Well, there's one that they can't move, and they were talking about blasting it, and I don't know how that turned out yet. I haven't checked DOT, but they did clear enough of the road so that way they can use a directional, somebody's out there directing traffic, so that's one lane at a time, trying to get by that boulder. And then there's another avalanche in Hatcher Pass. So Hatcher Pass is closed, and you've seen us up there before too, and that's pretty notorious up there, Hatcher Pass. And I guess Seward Highway is going to be closed off and on toward Girdwood, and that's pretty common too, as they close that for avalanche mitigation, so where they blast the snow out of there so that way it doesn't turn into an avalanche. But yeah, crazy. But a lot of places, they have no snow down there, just in the mountains. It's green in Homer. There's all kinds of memes going around that have pictures of Florida with your foot of snow, and Homer, Alaska, everything is green. It's, I don't know. All right. Well, I'm going to show you these quiche when they're done, and I'll show you everything that I made, and I'm going to get to editing because I want to put up a Costco video on Sunday, and then you'll be seeing this on Monday if you're watching them in order. So, lots of stuff. And you get the bean music. Sorry. I'll see you in a bit. There they are. They're those quiche. And they're kind of fluffy now. They just came out of the oven. So they'll calm down a little bit. And I'll let them cool off, and then I'll put those in the fridge. And then here I've got the stuffed chicken, and then I've got the bacon wrapped little chicken grill bites, and I got my turkey. Hold on. Yeah, I think it was a 14-pound turkey, and like I said, it's upside down, so that's the back. The breast meat's on the bottom. So I'll take that all off the bones tonight and bag that up and put it in, some in the freezer and some in the fridge. And I've been complaining that we don't have, oh gosh, that's dirty. I've been complaining that we don't have any ice around here, so I'm making a bunch of ice. I got 2-gallon bags in the freezer already.
This one, a tunnel of feelings, just like we got through everything